Fernando Bellver is one of the most internationally renowned Spanish artists. His works have been exhibited in the most important cities of Europe and North America. He dedicates 3 months out of the year to painting, 3 to sculpting, and 3 to engraving. He spends the rest of his time traveling. For Bellver, traveling is not a synonym for taking a vacation, but for searching and experimenting. It's a reunion with the shapes and colors of the world. And for this search, for the development of a large part of his works, the Nile has been a continuous obsession. Egyptian culture and mythology elaborate the river. They are his great traveling passions.
Well, I don't really travel. I get away. I leave here. I leave my studio behind. I leave my work behind, although it's something that fascinates me. I can't stay at home because I feel the need to go to my studio. So what I do is plan a trip and go away. I go far away from Madrid. I may go to, who knows, North Africa, or I could go to South America. But what I need to do is get far away from all these things that fascinate me so much.
Khartoum is one of the most important geographic enclaves in Africa. It's the exact point where the Blue Nile and the White Nile come together. The encounter of 2 paths that for centuries drove geographers and explorers from the Western world completely crazy. Which was the true Nile? What path should be followed to find the true source of the river? At this point, one needed to stop and spend time in the heart of ancient Nubia, and then follow the path. The Nile was a mysterious and complex highway, now divided in 2, that penetrated an enormous open space. The maps of Nubia and the interior lands of Africa appeared to be covered with drawings of giants and monsters that protected the fabulous treasures. This corner of the river was one of the gateways to the land of dreams and adventure. This territory, now stripped of its geographic mystery, is called Sudan. A country with a turbulent history, like all those of the Sahel area. Battered by the eternal conflict among Christians, animists, and Muslims. Punished due to the confrontations between the Arabs of the north and the blacks of the south. An intense history of advanced civilizations whose memory dates back to the time of ancient Egypt.
Well,
I've been going to Egypt for years. Egypt is a country that I'm very interested in because of its art and culture. The monuments are perhaps what I am least interested in. I like to find works of art in Saqqara or in the Valley of the Kings, created by anonymous artists, but high-quality works. I like to see how the same culture has stretched down the entire river throughout almost 20 centuries and from Lake Victoria to the Mediterranean, acting as a bridge connecting all the races on the Nile, from the Negroids to the Arabs today. I see it as an extremely interesting blend of cultures that move me deeply and directly. I have traveled the sources of the Nile that originate in Ethiopia, in the Siman Mountains, and what I have left to do, which I hope to fulfill during the next few weeks, is visit the part that crosses Sudan. Whenever I travel, I take a book with me. I carry a blank book and I draw in it. I take this book for 3 essential reasons. First, because I do not know how to take good pictures. I don't know how to use a camera. Second, I can never remember anything. I don't remember the places that I have visited. And third, I think I don't have an interior world. I am not a reflexive person. I don't stay inside a temple for 4 hours, nor in front of something. So I draw everything, which allows me to see things more attentively than taking pictures. I lose the group, which is always a good thing since they always are impatient and move ahead. And then I don't organize them or put them in any sort of order. I put them in a box, and my wife saves them.
No los organizo ni llevo un orden, sino que los voy guardando en una caja y se los queda a mi mujer.
I have always had a special attraction to rivers. There are people who collect stamps, but I like to think that I collect rivers. And the Nile is not just any river. The Nile is one of those rivers that might have been invented to make man's dreams more impressive. Today, I have made one of my dreams come true. I am here in Khartoum, peacefully drawing the place where the Blue Nile and the White Nile come together. From here to the mouth of the river, there is only one Nile. From this point on, all the controversies and legends disappear and allow the backbone of life to spread throughout the desert. There are only two rivers in the world with the same symbolic strength, the Ganges and the Amazon. There are other rivers, so many rivers with their spirits, myths, and possessions. But for me as a collector, only these three uphold the evocative power that is hidden beneath those things that seem eternal, as if they have always been there to satisfy the innate desire of man to reinvent the world.
Khartoum is a city that became popular because of the river cruises, especially after independence. The creation of one country in an immense expanse of land, in which 100 different languages are spoken, and where cultural interests and economic disparities are combined, could have no other consequence than conflict. It seems as if the civil war between the North and the South will never end. Nevertheless, Khartoum tries to be a space for understanding, a city where refugees from all ethnic backgrounds have come together. Men and women who are fleeing from the war, or who are simply in search of a better future. They have had no other choice but to blend together and to create paths of coexistence. These people have arrived bringing the fields to the city. Sudan is a country where tradition plays a fundamental role. All kinds of traditions, those marked by underdevelopment and those that provide an identity for the individual. And these traditions, this apparent ancient world, are felt in the streets and in the outlying neighborhoods of Khartoum. Even today, the camel caravans come to the edges of the city because of the market. The livestock comes from the northern and western regions of the country, where many tribes live like nomads and dedicate themselves to raising livestock. The Nuba people come from the south, from the region of Kordofan. Every Friday, the Nuba community comes together to organize freestyle wrestling tournaments, a regular practice in daily life beyond the southern mountains. Wrestling is something more than a sport. It's a ritual that does not favor confrontation, but unity. The Nubian fight represents solidarity, nobility, and power.